Well, a lot of stuff has happened today. A lot of stuff. And it's got me messing up my intro. A little bit of technical difficulties to start off there, everyone. So my bad on all that front. But hey, a lot of crap happened today. Joe Girardi gets fired, and the Phillies have themselves a ball game not that long after the matter of the fact Rob Thompson is named the interim manager for the rest of the season. And the Phillies go out against the Los Angeles Angels and they smoke them 10-0, hitting so many home runs. 2 home runs by Kyle Schwarber, 2 home runs by Bryce Harper. Bryson Stott getting into the business with his first major league home run, so that's nice to see. But right now, the main focus really is on the firing of Joe Girardi. We're going to get into the game as well. Honestly, I feel like I should get into the game first, and then we'll discuss everything that goes on with Joe Girardi more after the fact. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a, probably should have did this earlier, but I really didn't have the time to. So I figured, hey, we got a game tonight, so we can basically kill two birds with one stone in that process. So hey, it was a great game to watch. Zack was dominant and really just a not stressful game whatsoever. Just bombs left and right. Phillies hitting home runs left and right, and just home run derby all over the place. So it was a and also some pretty nice defense too. Nick Maton made a fantastic play out there at second base. Sadly, he got injured on the play where it sounds like it's a left shoulder sprain or a right shoulder sprain. So hopefully it's not too long of an instance with him because he has been nice, in the first couple of games since he's been called back up. Odubel Herrera made a nice play after being coming in as a defensive replacement. So there were some nice plays all around, and overall, but like I said, it was just a very, very good game to watch. No stress whatsoever. And at the end of the day, thank God. Thank God we had a game where basically, the adrenaline rush coming from, firing Joe Girardi. The guys in the clubhouse most likely think, it's my fault. This is our fault that our manager got fired. Let's go out there, have ourselves basically a good game. And that's exactly what they did. They smoked the ball, and Zack pitched a great game. So before we get into everything today, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to TTP Sports. The most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate that. If you're looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, this is the place to be at, depending on the outcome, great or miserable, depending on the outcome. And if you are a current viewer of the channel, I am grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking for tickets to upcoming sporting events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTP Sports for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So basically, tickets for anything you can think of. Get yourself to an upcoming Phillies home game. I'm definitely going to Sunday's one. Yeah, definitely utilize that code TTP Sports. $20 basically gets rid of the fees and all that stuff. And then basically you can use that for concessions, parking, everything you can think of. So use the code TTP Sports for $20 off your first purchase today at SeatGeek. So, Phillies smoke the Los Angeles Angels. Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout coming to town. Mike Trout returns home. They smoke him 10-0. Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout go hitless in this game. Mike Trout getting robbed twice of hits in this game. And overall, like I said, really fantastic game. Great hitting all around, and Zack was just dominant. So let's go to Zack first because he was just basically lights out tonight. 8 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. Not many strikeouts, but he was getting the fly balls. He was getting great defense behind them, ground balls as well, and getting, those occasional strikeouts. So 104 pitches there for Zack. And honestly, since coming back from the COVID list, 3 out of his 4 starts since have been really, really good. He had the 1 bad start against the Mets. And like I said, this is basically who Zack is. When he is on his game, he is a really good pitcher. And when he's off his game, he is, basically So basically, him and Kyle Gibson are the same thing. They're going to go out there. They're going to go try eat innings. And when they're on their game, they're on their game. But when Zack on his game, it's really fun to watch. And thankfully, we got a really good version of Zack in this game. And you only have to use 1 bullpen arm. In the 9th inning, when it was already 10-0, it was James Norwood, and he got 2 strikeouts on 13 pitches. So that was very solid overall coming out of the bullpen there. So basically, all the runs were basically 9 out of the 10 runs in this ball game were on the long ball today. And it started in the bottom of the first inning. Kyle Schwarber, first pitch swinging, hits it off the center field brick wall out there, makes it a 1-0 Phillies lead. You go to the bottom of the second inning. JT gets on, Maton gets on. Alec Bohm, I think, was on base as well because he grounded into a fielder's choice in that instance. So you got 2 runners on. Bryson Stott, first pitch swinging at a curveball down at his feet, and he golfs it out to right field, goes a couple of rows into the right field stands. And that's his first major league home run of the season. And the one thing I did like from the lineup today from Rob Thompson, that's still going to be weird to say because Rob Thompson doesn't have a P in his name in Thompson. So it's like Thompson. So it's like, that's going to be really, weird for people to write, especially on Twitter and stuff, with autocorrect and everything, because the most common name is Thompson. So that's going to be like weird to say and try to pronounce Thompson and not Thompson. So yeah, it's going to be a little weird overall, but still. I like the fact that the lineup is he put 3 young guys in the lineup. He put Bryson Stott in there. He put Nick Maton at second base, and he put Mickey Moniak out there in center field. So letting the kids play. So maybe that's something that's, a little bit of a change of pace. He's going to let more of the young guys play, but still you got to handle this is only one game. So he was testing it out there. So maybe right now it worked. So maybe you keep the young guys in there, but right now you still got to, decide on what's wrong with Nick Maton out there. So hopefully it's not that, crucial of an injury for him because he's been really good, the first couple of games since he's been called up. But still, kudos to Bryson Stott getting his first career major league bomb. But then you go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Kyle Schwarber leads off with a walk. Rhys Hoskins doubles, so you got second and third situation with nobody out. And then Bryce Harper, first pitch hacking. A lot of home runs today on first pitches. Kyle Schwarber, Bryson Stott, and the first Bryce Harper home run. He makes it 7-0. Ball just carried out there to left field, opposite field. Barely went into the first row. I'm still have no idea how this ball carried out, but hey, it's Bryce Harper, and he's the strongest guy in the world. So hey, made it 7-0 there. Phillies get some two-out action. JT gets hit by a pitch, and then Nick Maton, a little help from Taylor Ward out there in right field, misses the play out there. Nick Maton gets an easy triple, makes it an 8-0 ball game. Then you go to the bottom of the 6th. Kyle Schwarber crushes another one out the center field off the brick wall again. Makes it a 9-0 ball game. And then 2 batters later, Bryce Harper goes yard the other way again. 10-0. Honestly, Kyle Schwarber was close to having 3 bombs in this game. It was his second, at bat of the game, I believe. He hit it out the deep left center field. It just died right at the wall, and Mike Trout made a nice grab. But still, overall, just fantastic. Just home runs left and right. What is that? 5 home runs in this game, and 4 of those were by Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber. So hey, that's very nice to see. And Kyle Schwarber this month of June, honestly, he had the 2 home runs tonight. I know he had a couple of home runs in the series against the Giants. So to start June, Kyle Schwarber's bat has been pretty good. So maybe that's a sign of things to come. So, Nick Castellanos' bat started waking up during the Giants series. So maybe that's something to look at going forward there. But overall, I'm not going to really overreact to anything. It was a good win. You got the adrenaline rush from Joe Girardi getting fired. Rob Thompson comes into the mix. You want to get his first win in his, major league career as a manager. And to think of the fact that he's been in the big leagues for so long as a coach, all that all those years that he had with the New York Yankees organization, you're thinking about, man, this guy hasn't been a manager yet, but still, hey, he gets his first year, his first, big league W as a manager. So kudos to Rob Thompson there. So basically looking at the lineup today, Kyle Schwarber, fantastic day at the plate with the 2 bombs, goes 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs in this game and a walk as well. Rhys Hoskins goes 1 for 4. Bryce Harper goes 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs. So he was bonkers in this game. Nick Castellanos quiet at the plate today. He went 0 for 4. JT goes 1 for 3. Alec Bohm goes 0 for 4. Nick Maton goes 1 for 2. Bryson Stott goes 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs with the 3-run shot. And Mickey Moniak, he goes 1 for 4, getting his first hit of the season. Runners in scoring position. Phillies really didn't have that many chances. They just hit bombs every chance they got. They went 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position in this ball game. So like I said, overall, just a really good game. Really good game by this Philly squad. Really no complaints there. You really just, coming after Joe Girardi, and basically Rob Thompson is the best manager in Major League Baseball at this point. The Phillies are going to go win a World Series. That's what I'm saying right here. Can't even say that with a straight face. Really can't, but still, Rob Thompson is the greatest manager in the world. So really just getting into everything with Joe Girardi now. So I'm going to browse Twitter just to see if Rob Thompson said anything about, Nick Maton and everything like that, just to see if everything happened there. I don't think there is anything really on Nick Maton because, Twitter's been really weird today because every time I refresh Twitter, it'll always show something like some people's posts from like 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. I'm like, dude, I want to see the latest post. I want to see what's going to happen. So yeah, that's basically what I am going to say right there. And overall, like I said, going to the Joe Girardi firing. So this really happened like what it was like 10 in the morning, 10:30 in the morning or something like that. Really honestly, I did bring this up a couple of games ago to where I think it was before the day of the first game of the Giants series, I believe on Memorial Day. And then you were looking at basically this entire week on how we were discussing, Joe Girardi is most likely going to be fired sooner rather than later. I know Jason Stark brought up, he wasn't hearing any rumblings about that. But when I was talking about that, on the stream right here to everyone, just really thinking about, probably going to happen sooner rather than later, and especially looking towards, the upcoming Thursday yesterday when they had the off day. And really, that's most likely, I would assume, when everything went down, when they were having the discussions, having the meetings throughout the entire day, and they decided to pull the trigger this morning on Joe Girardi. So basically, yeah, like I said, I guess you can say I was right, but still, I'm not, gloat about everything like that. Basically, we knew this was coming, but honestly, I'm also a little surprised too, just because of Dave Dombrowski's MO. He's not really, quick to pull the trigger like that. So I was kind of expecting this, but also kind of surprised at the same time. But at the end of the day, it just had to happen. And it's still not saying the entirety is on Joe Girardi. It's not. This entirety, it's not on Joe Girardi. If you look at basically everything that's going down with the Phillies right now, their hitting is super inconsistent. There's a lot of guys in this lineup that are underachieving that probably shouldn't be. Their bullpen, very inconsistent, and especially lately, it's been very bad. Their starting pitching, though, really has been the lone bright spot consistently so far. Defense, we all knew was going to be bad coming into the season. Honestly, it was kind of, a little too bad in the month of May, but we all know this defense was going to be bad coming into this year. So there's a lot of things that are going into, what's going on right here. Then Joe Girardi, he has his moments where, maybe the lineups aren't the best or the mismanagement of the bullpen where he's bringing out guys that he probably shouldn't in certain situations when you're constantly going out to guys like Jose Alvarado in close games, Familia in close games, Norwood in close game situations, guys that really just shouldn't be out there. When you're going in extra innings, you get these bullpen guys that are coming out here and they're just automatically giving these teams another run because they can't record an out. So there are certain situations where Joe Girardi did make a lot of bad decisions this year with the bullpen. So there are a lot of implications. And also when you look at Joe Girardi, there were so many, instances this year to where maybe he could have done something to maybe spark the team up a little bit. When you go back to, certain implications where maybe he could have, got injected from the ball game. When you're looking at, one of those early games in the season against the Milwaukee Brewers where Angel Hernandez was being so bad at the home plate, where Kyle Schwarber literally flipped out in the bottom of the ninth inning. Maybe that's an instance where, that was a series where the offense was struggling, going through a struggle, stretch to where Joe Girardi could have came out of the dugout, yelled his ass off at Angel Hernandez, maybe sparked the clubhouse a little bit for the next game. And there were a couple of those instances where, Joe Girardi in the clubhouse, the energy just looked dead. The emotions just didn't look anything like that. It just looks like bleh, basically. So there were, those things right there. So yeah, overall, at this point, it was the right decision to make. I just really, I'm still like in that mode, like I said, where I'm like, I was expecting it to happen, but I was also very surprised at the same time because you were like, oh, they're firing him on a game day. Why didn't they do it yesterday? But they were probably going through all the meetings yesterday to discuss everything possible that could have happened today. So yeah, basically, it's been a weird day, I guess you could say that, especially it's most likely been a weird day for a lot of the players in that clubhouse just because the guy that was there, and I think Joe Girardi said in the press conference today when he was fired, I don't think he was in the press conference, but I think they tried to interview him after the fact, and he said that basically at this point, he just hopes the team can go start winning now. I mean, I hope so too, Joe. And then, Dave Dombrowski talked today as well, saying that, he knows the defense is bad, but he doesn't think the defense is as bad as they've been playing in, the past couple of weeks. He knows the capabilities of the offense. He still believes in his team to, go on a run and possibly make the playoffs. And yeah, definitely when you're talking about expanded playoffs and stuff like that, when you have 3 wild card spots now instead of 2, that definitely does open up the fact to, yeah, you can, technically you're not fully out of it, but when you look at the division, yeah, you're completely out of the way of the division. Even though when I was coming into this year, coming into my season predictions, I was not expecting the Phillies whatsoever to make a run for the division. I was not expecting that at all. Just because you're playing in the division with the Atlanta Braves, with the New York Mets. And honestly, even though I didn't expect the Mets to be as good as they were, I knew it was going to be tough. And at this point right now, even though right now, talk about playoffs and stuff like that, it's only one game. It's one game. I'm just trying to, describe what I was thinking coming into the season, not what I'm thinking right now. Because after this game, you're 23 and 29. You are 6 games below 500. And right now, you just got to find a way to gain some consistency, gain some momentum, gain some confidence in yourself. Can this game, possibly be that case? Who knows? Because right now, the Angels, they started off the season really hot, and now they're in a huge slump. I think this is their 9th loss in a row, 8th loss in a row, or something like that. So they've lost a lot of games coming into this. So maybe this could be an implication or maybe a series to where you can take advantage of a team that is struggling and maybe build some confidence for yourself going into, the next couple of series upcoming. Because, yeah, the series upcoming, they're still going to be tough after these next 2 games against the Angels. And tomorrow is going to be another nationally televised game. So joy on that. And I think Zack Wheeler is going to be on the mound tomorrow for that. So hopefully that'll be a good one there. You're going to get Kyle Gibson on the mound Sunday, and then you're going to get the off day on Monday. You're going to be going to Milwaukee to play the Brewers. So that's going to be a tough series as all. Corbin Burns is going to be on the mound for that. You didn't see him the first time in Philadelphia. So this will be the first time you see him this year. You play the Diamondbacks at home. You play the Marlins. You get a series against the Washington Nationals. So that should be a series where you should really take advantage of. Then, you play the Texas Rangers, Padres, Braves, and all that stuff going into the next months and so on and so forth. But right now, also, if I even look at the Major League standings, just to look at them, because why not? So if I look at the wild card and everything like that for the National League, Padres, Cardinals, Giants, they're all in the top 3 of the wild card spots right now. And the Phillies, they are currently 5.5 games back of that wild card spot. Teams that are above them, the Pittsburgh Pirates, which is Colorado Rockies, Atlanta Braves, Arizona Diamondbacks, and those are the teams that are above him going into that wild card spot. So yeah, right now I'm not going to stress anything like that. This is basically what my thoughts were coming into the season in terms of playoffs and everything like that. But right now is you got to figure out how to get this offense rolling on a consistent basis, because right now we know the starting pitching is going to find a way to hold its own. They're going to be more consistent than not, because Zack Wheeler has been really consistent this year ever since, the slow start. Aaron Nola has been good more times than not, but he's still going to give you those moments where, where Aaron Nola looks like, he has those really good moments, and then he has that one inning where he blew up like his last start. Kyle Gibson, he's going to give you his good games. He's going to give you his bad games. Same thing with Zack Eflin. When Zack Eflin is pitching really good, he is really good. When he's bad out there, he's bad. And Ranger Suarez is still the big question mark right now, because he has been really struggling to start this season, not going deep in the games, really not lasting until like the 4th inning. So they're going to have to figure out the situation with that going into that. So yeah, there's still a lot of question marks with his team, a ton of question marks. Right now, the biggest thing right now for me is the offense, because the defense, that's going to be bad. We know the defense is going to be bad. Make the simple plays. Don't try too hard. Don't try to do too much. Make the simple plays. We know this defense is going to be bad. Starting pitching, we know that's going to be consistent more times than not. The bats need to be more consistent. The bats really need to be consistent. And yet the bullpen definitely does need to be better too. There's no question about that. There's really been can you do something different with the bullpen? Do you give Seranthony Dominguez a bigger role out there, because he's been really your best reliever out there this year? Do you use him more in the 8th inning? Do you test him in the 9th inning or something like that? And then basically your best relievers so far this year have been Brad Hand and Seranthony Dominguez. And yeah, I'm still going to throw in Corey Knebel, even though he's been going through a very sluggish stretch. I believe more in Corey Knebel just because he's been around the bump. He's been a respected reliever throughout baseball. He's been solid. He's been really good. So I can believe in him to get out of this slump. He's a veteran. I expect veterans to get themselves out of slumps because, they've been around the bump. Other guys in that bullpen, we know Jose Alvarado's down in AAA right now, so we don't know what's happening there. You got Norwood, you got Bilotti, you got Sanchez, who was just called up, and basically you got Who else am I thinking of right here? Who else am I thinking of? Nelson, you got in there. You got all these other pitchers that are, you also got Brogdon. You got Brogdon in there as well. So yeah, the bullpen, there's still much room for improvement. And we got to see that improvement with the bullpen as well. But I do still think the most important thing that the Phillies need to find a way to get consistent more times than not is the offense. Because this year, this team was built on offense. And we've seen way too many times this year to where the offense goes, a couple of games where they score 8 runs, where they score 10 runs, maybe on a 1, 2, or 3 game stretch. And then they go through a week where, the bats are scoring less than 3 runs a game. They're getting shut out. They can't find rhythm. They can't hit or anything. So it's been really up and down, up and down. We really haven't seen a full consistent stretch with this offense. Like the best stretch this team has been on was that 4-game series or, that week, when they went out west to Seattle and Los Angeles. And we really haven't seen anything like that since. So could this, wake up the boys a little bit and get a little bit of a run here with the offense? Who knows? We got to see what this month of June holds because, yeah, there's still technically 4 months left in this season. So there technically still is a lot of baseball left to play. But right now, this offense really has to get going. You won 10-0 today, so that's the really most important thing. Kyle Schwarber looks like the start of June, he's got a little bit of a hot bat there, so hopefully that's a good thing. Bryce Harper's going to be Bryce Harper. Nick Castellanos woke up a little bit during the Giants series. Need Rhys Hoskins to wake up more. Need JT to wake up a little bit as well. And let's see where you can roll from there. This team is still at a point where they have to prove it to us. So right now, it's basically a day-by-day or a series-by-series basis with this team. So really, like that, don't get too high, don't get too low. Right now, control your own destiny at this point. Go out there and prove it to us. Go out there when your schedule does get easier. Take advantage of that easier schedule. If your president believes that you can do this, go out there and prove it. You have guys that are capable in that, entire roster that can go, get hot at the right time and go on a run. So you got to prove it to us. That's basically what I'm trying to state right here. So yeah, if we look at, some of the guys in the live feed right here, channel name states baseball. It also says it's cool to see an immediate success after firing Joe, but still definitely a long way to go. Absolutely. Mold petition for Alvarado says the new norm. Let's go. Rydell says Nick Maton injured. Unfortunate for him. He looked good the past 2 games. Yeah, hopefully there's nothing, hopefully too wrong with him. I know they said on the broadcast it was like a sprained shoulder. So hopefully that's not, too much. I'm assuming he's going to get looked at tomorrow further. So we'll definitely find out more information on that tomorrow. Mr. W says, can't explain how big my smile was when watching that game. I'm sure everyone was. It was just basically a very enjoyable game to watch. Johnny B. Good says, Phillies are 1-0 in the post-Girardi era. Let's go. Channel name says, I think it's a little surprising when we fired Joe when our season is still in a really tough part of the schedule, but we still got to perform with the other contenders. Yeah, when you're looking at this, if Joe Girardi was still the manager, like you really just couldn't let that continue further on because who knows how much more of that stretch of, bad baseball, just losing, just looking completely bad was going to last. You got to do something now. You just can't let that go on forever. And maybe John Middleton stepped in. I'm sure they're saying it's a Dave Dombrowski move, which I'm assuming it is. And John Middleton had full approval of it. But I'm sure John Middleton up there was like, looking at everything that was going on and said, hey, man, I went over the luxury tax for this year. We got to find a way to get these boys rolling. Firing the manager right now, I guess it's that first step. Hopefully it leads to something good. But right now, yeah, it's still not guaranteed. Yeah, you're going to get that adrenaline rush right after, the manager gets fired. But let's see how the atmosphere changes. Let's see if, Rob Thompson can create a new culture in that locker room for a little bit. Maybe he can get the boys rolling. Maybe the team just responds to, hey, guys, we're sucking. We got our manager fired. We got to find a way to wake up. And maybe that's all it takes. But right now, we got to wait and find out. We got to wait and see how this team responds further. They responded tonight. Let's see how it continues. Belo says Kyle Schwarber last season hit 16 home runs in the month of June and won Player of the Month. Heard that on the broadcast. Yeah. Last year in June for the Washington Nationals, he was absolutely fantastic. So definitely we get to see, hopefully, the month of June, Kyle Schwarber from last year. So far, I believe if I look at the past couple of games, because I know in the Giants series he hit a couple of home runs, I do believe. So if I look at the games there, if I can see, let's see, Kyle Schwarber. If I go to scoring plays, so this is the first game, I believe, yes. So yeah, Kyle Schwarber home run in the bottom of the ninth inning. If I go to game 2, did he have a home run in game 2? I can't remember if he had a home run in game 2. I'm not entirely sure. So if I go to the second Giants game where they lose 7-4, Phillies scoring plays, JT, no. Okay, they hit nothing there in games. Did he hit a home run in game 3? Did he hit a home run in game 3? Yeah, he did hit a home run in game 3. So far, in the past couple of games, basically this entire week, he's had 4 home runs this week. And in the month of June, he's had 3 home runs. So maybe that's something that, could bode well for the Phillies. And so far for Kyle Schwarber, maybe he's just a guy when the weather gets warmer, he just gets better, or when the season progresses, he just gets better. Hopefully, that's just a bright side of good things to come for Kyle Schwarber, because yes, we definitely need that. I would love to see a stretch from Kyle Schwarber where he goes off for 16 home runs and then he gets the Player of the Month card and MLB The Show where he just absolutely rakes. And I can hit bombs with Kyle Schwarber and MLB The Show. 99 overall Kyle Schwarber. I need that to happen again. And I also saw what MLB The Show, they released their I guess their future prospect series or something like that. And Bryson Stott got a 95 overall card, so I'm definitely going to try to get that. Speaking of MLB The Show. But yeah, overall, just very, very, very solid of a game. Very solid. And as I'm peeking over to my left side, I got the Tampa Bay Rangers game 2 on, and the Rangers are beating them 3-1. Tampa Bay has looked really flat in this game, so they got to wake up if they want to find a way to, repeat back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, get to that final for a 3rd straight year. But yeah, overall, just a very solid game to watch. Very solid game. So I think that's where I'm going to call it, everyone. Just overall, a very great game by this Phillies team. 5 home runs total, 2 by Schwarber, 2 by Bryce. Bryson Stott gets his first major league bomb. And overall, just a really good game. Zack dominated, and let's see how this team can, find a way to keep it going. Got a game tomorrow. Zack Wheeler on the mound. It's going to be on Fox. So hopefully, they give us a good showing on national television. We've been on national television a lot lately. So can we get a good win on national television? Hopefully. So I thank you, everyone, for joining the live feed as always. And before, one more comment from Mr. W. Trout is 0 for 19. I don't hope for him to get hot, but I also feel bad for him because Philly is his hometown and whatnot. Yeah, it's nice to see Trout come home, but honestly, I don't want to see Trout start hitting now. We don't need to wake Trout up in the series. He could go 0 for 20 in the series. I don't care. I love that he's home and everything like that. I'm going to the game on Sunday to see him. Don't hit a home run there, Trout. That's all I'm asking. You can come home, just don't hit it home. So thank you, everyone, for joining the live feed. As always, I appreciate that. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to drop a like on the like button as well. Don't forget to check out everything down in the description below. The Painted Lines, BrodesMedia, the Fired Up Pod merch website, everything like that. Do not forget to check those down there. Like I said, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, drop a like on the like button as well. And also use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. And I will see